Howdy, howdy. So I'm going to give people time to come in, get settled down. How's everybody doing? I woke up. I must have had a bad dream. I don't know, but I woke up with anxiety. And I'm getting disrupted by the app again. I almost feel like deleting that app and giving up on it. Anyway. So, plan is when I see more people, and I know Annie's going to come up and join me on the panel. I've pinned the link if you would like to come up. You don't necessarily, you're not required to talk just because you're up on panel, but if it's easier to talk, or if you just want to get up and say hi, that's fine. Oh, I got to answer this question. They're like, I want to ask how you even meet anyone from the site because I joined a few days and you're my first to chat with. Okay. Sorry. Till I see people showing up. All right. All right. Are we still live? Okay. Hello. And I better text Annie, unless that is her coming in. I'm sorry. Okay, I am going to close this so they don't see that I'm online and leave me alone. All right, so I guess one viewer is what I got. I should give it a few more minutes. How's your day? I'm going to be showing, that's what I need to do, set up the first slideshow in the stream. Well, maybe about 6 minutes I'll start that. And then you can either type in chat or join the panel and talk about your feelings about it, what you experienced about it, a bunch of other stuff. I also have some guided questions if we need it. But I'm going to be talking about all three of them if I have time, which I probably should, because I haven't been regular streaming on YouTube. I just don't have the... Okay, she's brushing her hair out. She will be here. So Annie's going to join us in a few. Most of the people who watch my streams, who actually join in... I'm tying my hair up. Who join in the discussions do suffer some form of depression. So that's why I decided to just talk about... I did the Would You Rather. We had a lot of interesting questions, and it just made me realize that a lot of us are here because this is how we connect with the world, even though it's not ideal. But it's safe. And I figured maybe if we all connect over these issues, maybe we could actually get somewhere with it. I don't know. I found some interesting other questions today also that I would like to put up and have a discussion about. Oh, there we go. And now I really feel... She's like, did you start yet? Yep, I'm rambling. I can't leave my hair up. I can't do it. I have to be busy. It bugs me. I know I'm goofy. Oh, okay. So she said no notification popped up. So that's what's going on. Let me put on my community page. Maybe that'll help. I don't know if it will or not. And it looks like 50-50 for Quiplash. I can't do it both days. All right. Okay. So I'm posting that. Maybe that'll show up. Because you're right. I didn't get a notification either. And I am live. Let me go double check. Nope, it's showing live. There I am, looking at my phone. Nope, it's showing live. Sorry about that. All right. I'll mute the camera for a second. There might be a lot of camera muting. I have a feeling I'm going to get a little weepy. So I don't know. We'll find out. Hi, Annie. I pinned the link at the top. I got to mute my camera for a second. The Wendy B of question mark. Because I think another reason I did this, I'm doing this series, is because I need to figure out where I'm going. Hey. Wow, you look so pretty today.
Okay, I'm just making sure the volume's down on YouTube so it doesn't interfere with StreamYard. How's the volume?
You sound all right.
Okay. Well, I made it.
So no notifications went out. I didn't get one either. That's why nobody's here.
Well, yeah, and I checked on YouTube here. I can open up another window, but it's just like, where's this is me, Wendy B of AZ.
Yeah.
Let's see. Trying to get my computer back just a little bit, or I need to go back or something. Yeah, it's not showing that you're live.
Well, that's weird because if I
And
go to
that's a
my
first.
channel, when I go to my channel, the home page, it says panel discussions, the first one, and then it has a live on it. And
Oh, okay. But
yours
in the
doesn't.
notification, yeah, the notifications that come up on YouTube, well, I don't know, maybe because I'm in your YouTube, but it's not showing that you're live.
Yeah, I didn't get any notifications. It's so strange.
Okay.
Anyway,
Uh,
so
yeah.
U-Haul's
Okay.
streaming now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stream the little slideshow thing first,
Okay.
and then we can like talk about it.
Okay.
Let me do
I'm just
present.
finishing up. This is almost 30 some odd inches of hair is not fun. But I got a shower and I can bend over and I can put my pants on, I can put socks on, and I can reach my toenails.
Nice. That's always important. All
Haven't been
right,
able to.
I'm gonna run this so it's silent.
Okay.
Okay. That be it. It is a slow slideshow on purpose. It's painfully slow to watch, and most people don't finish it. But, oh, you can talk.
Yeah, it's good that it's slow because not all of us are speed readers,
Right?
and it gives you time to really think about what you put up there.
And I
And
want people who were watching it and just didn't feel like they wanted to finish watching it, think why it was so uncomfortable to sit with that silence like that. That's what depression's like, is watching that slideshow at super slow speed.
that's interesting. I thought it was really, really well done. And what was interesting, it feels like we've been living kind of parallel lives in different places.
Yeah, and there's so many of us. The Bible
Yeah,
talks about how the love of many grows cold, and that's what's happening. That's why depression is so strong these days. And it's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And then as we feel like we need to hide and protect ourselves, we get less and less love because we're protecting ourselves. We're
yeah,
not open for it.
yeah.
It gets crazy. And then, when people are like, you say no one, and then somebody says, but I did call you. And I'm thinking, well, if I don't have a connection with you in a certain way, how is calling me? Like, some people will call and ask how you are. Well, you're in a depression and they know it. You don't even want to answer how you are. You want calls like, hey, do you remember doing this? And you live that memory and then you're done.
Yeah.
But when people put the pressure on you, how are you feeling? What can we do? All this stuff. It's nice to be helpful, but if that's all they're doing and they're not there, or they're not the person you connect to, and it's not reliving things or doing new things, it's just feeding to it. It makes you feel like you're missing life. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I shouldn't talk about people, but I have a friend who wants to always be there, wants to care, but I have nothing in common with this person. So when they call, it's like a stranger. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
sometimes, yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
It's like a stranger, and then they start off. The hardest thing is when people, instead of trying to keep it light and talk about fun things or direct, it's usually, well, I mean, after the original listening, we got to listen to people, but it's usually they want to tell you how you should handle it instead of hearing you.
Ooh, good one. Yeah.
That one's really hard. Like, you should get out more. Well, I already know I should get out more, you know?
Tell me
When
something I don't know.
exactly.
Yeah.
Offer to take me somewhere new. Drive, take the effort off of me so I don't have to make any effort at all. I'll come pick you up. Let's go look at the sun. We only have to be there 5 minutes. If that's all you can handle, let's go home. Let's do it. Little minor things. Or they don't even want to get dressed. Just show up and sit there and watch a movie. I don't know.
Have a pajama party.
Yeah. A lot of people are uncomfortable around people that are depressed, but
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know. If you're if you can be around somebody you care about when they're depressed and be comfortable, then you're around you're care about them all the time, I guess. I don't even know where I'm leading with that comment.
I don't know. I guess I don't know. Some people live on the fluffy side of life,
Some
and
people do it on purpose.
yeah, and some people go, "I'm fine. Everything's great. I'm doing good. Yeah." And they go home and they go, oh God, didn't want to do that. And I don't know if I should say it, but I might as well say it. They're with the word, oh, I'm fine, which used to come out fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
Yep.
That seemed to work for a lot of people.
You know what I'm fine means to me now?
But
It means I don't want to tell you how I am.
ooh,
That's what
that's
it means to me. How are you? If they say I'm fine, I'm like, okay, you don't want to talk. I'm good with that. Because that's basically what it is. Really, when you're fine, what do? You talk about what you're doing or what's exciting or something good that happens. That's what really happens when you're fine.
yeah. And when you're depressed, and then like, what have you been doing? Nothing. Where do you go with that one? Uh, and nothing is sometimes not our fault. It's
True.
just circumstances or I don't know, variations. I don't know.
Accessibility. We don't control the world around us. We only control ourselves.
Exactly.
I think a lot of my depression usually comes from, I don't know. Well, they had one question on the depression thing. I guess I'll start with that. It says, "Are you basically satisfied with your life?" So when it comes time for something in my life to change, I start to feel uncomfortable with things, but I don't know why. It gets really weird. But
Oh,
I have noticed, and I think it's because my quartzite group started going down, and I'm like, what's going on? Is this group going to disappear? Well, it did eventually, but I became satisfied because I do want to be around people. I want to have like a family environment around me, but I became a nomad. I figure as long as I'm single, then I can travel around and I won't feel like I'm in the way somewhere. I can kind of act like I'm just doing adventures all the time, which in a way they are, but they don't lead me anywhere. And that's probably where my dissatisfaction started kicking in.
well, if you're moving and you're moving forward as a nomad, doesn't matter what's happening. You're moving. At least you're
Um,
not sitting in a spot, growing roots, and getting spider mites.
but actually just changing locations. I'm not really changing much of anything else.
That's better than like I've been sitting in this cabin for oh boy, 6 years ago I had my accident, May 27th. 7 years ago I moved here on April 22nd, and it's in the middle of nowhere. There's nobody. There's just nothing. You can't go for a walk down the road because it's a highway. I've seen three Mack trucks up close and personal in a row. They
Yeah.
only left about a 1 foot stretch on the road. It's not for walking on. There's nowhere to walk to. It's only half an acre. I could jump the fence and go over to the 25 acres next door with the waterfront property and everything else, but why even go out of the house when I'm comfortable here?
Well, because you started the sentence saying that you felt trapped, and now you're saying at the end of the paragraph that you're content. So, which one is it really? Are you just wanting to feel safe in your decision, or do you really want more?
I want to feel safe in my decision. I've
But are
reached that
you
point in my life. I got a few years on you, girl.
right? But now we're back to the when we said, are we satisfied with life? You said, but what if I can't do things? And then you ended it with, I'm content.
Interesting.
I
I've never
know.
I've never talked to anybody about this, so yeah, this
That's
is
why I'm like, I think that's why it's kind of fun to talk about this stuff with each other, because we can find out what is going on. We're depressed. Why are we depressed? It's in our power to change it, whether we believe it or not. I don't believe mine right now. I'm struggling severely with depression right now. And I don't feel like I'm ever going to come out of it. But when I looked at that question, it's like, if I'm dissatisfied with life, what do I need to do to get satisfied? I mean, would that not be the answer to depression? And it doesn't mean I have to come out of where I'm safe and content unless I want to. But what's going to take me out of the depression is satisfying something that's unsatisfied. That's as far as my brain got. And then I realized it's because I don't want to be alone. But as a nomad, I really haven't been alone until it started the summer before 2 summers before the convoy. That's the big measuring block. But right before that, winter before the convoy is when I started realizing I was becoming unsatisfied with something.
that's the interesting point, and you got to find the spot where everything changed.
Right. And I don't know what the spot was other than people started leaving the group, and I have issues separating from people. I have big issues separating from people. If I feel a connection, I don't want to leave them. I don't want to leave anybody, any of my friends.
And
So,
then they leave us, and we sit there going,
but we can't control them just because it's our safe spot. And then you have, not only do you have depression, you have anxiety with it too. Because you're trying to get that need met through somebody that's not yourself. Well, I don't know how to meet a need like that. I can't date myself and split myself into two people. I do talk to myself though. But anyway,
we're our best companions.
we could be our worst enemies too,
If we don't talk
especially
to
when our
ourselves,
brain. I
if we
talk
don't
to
talk
myself.
to ourselves, are we going to remember how to talk when we meet someone? It's just like, hi.
Well, I don't know. I guess talking to myself a lot has caused me to mumble when I talk to other people because I assume they can hear me.
Don't mumble when you talk to yourself.
Oh, then I'm really crazy.
A lot of people talk to themselves, and some you need to hear things out loud to sometimes process things better.
I have damage on my frontal cortex, frontal lobe. There we go. And so when I talk out loud, it brings it to the other parts of the brain that can process it because the connector's not really there.
Yeah, you need to plug in the power bars.
The unsecret secret is smoke more weed, don't allow any touching, eat bacon on regular occasions, keep away from hot dogs. Nobby, you missed the part where we said with depression, it's really horrible when people tell us what to do. How to fix the depression. You can't
How do
fix
you,
the depression. You've had more than one depression bout, right? Or no?
me or Nobby?
Yeah, you,
Me.
Annie. Yeah.
My life has been nothing but depression. I've got as far as been said to me, it's a low grade form of depression called dysthymia, and I've had it all my life. I've never known any different. And when my doctor had said something, and I says, depression is normal. And he goes, no, it isn't. And I thought, you haven't lived my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's, you know, um, things changed for me in 1992, 1993, and I'm kind of stuck there, and I don't really know how to climb out of it. I lost everybody, lost everyone.
That's why you're stuck. A trauma that strong keeps you stuck.
Yeah,
And
31 years.
and living where you live, you're choosing to stay stuck, basically.
Well, where I lived previously, I had to move from. We had some problems with protesters and stuff there, and there was a women's clinic across the road, and they were protesting that. And I lived in the first unit. I put my little phone up to the door, and I just sort of waved and stuff like that. Anyway, they were horrible people, horribly annoying. And I had an ad in usevictoria.ca. My landlord saw it, and I got out of there. I'd lived there 13 years. I would still live there if I could. I've dreamt of moving back in. I've dreamt the place has come up, and I says, "May I have it back?"
Mm.
And it's I
That
moved.
was another one of my questions when we talked about the satisfaction was, do you want to go back or do you want to go forward to new?
Haven't
I
decided
mean,
that one yet.
because mine is, do I want to continue remaining a nomad and go the rest of my life without experiencing all the feelings? Or do I want to take a risk and go to the new direction? And I the depression is, I know I have to pick a direction, but I don't even know if one's possible because it has externals. And how would I live with that decision if it didn't happen? That kind of stuff. I don't know. I guess I got to decide. I guess step one would be, what do I really want my day-to-day life to look like?
Do you ever go back to thoughts and places where you lived? I keep going back into my apartment building. I keep going back to 301, the old motel, when I was happy before it all fell apart. And a few other places that I lived. And I thought, you know what? Actually, I was happy when I was working. And then when I turned 65 and everything, and it's just like, well, actually, since 93, I was fighting my way out of a wet paper bag and just taking menial jobs with very little pay just to get by. And then age creeped up. I turned 65, and now what do you do? Now I'm at the point where I'm just sort of cleaning everything. I thought, now you're at the point. I'm going to be, oh, this is embarrassing. I still feel like I'm in my 30s, but anyway, I'm going to be 70 at the end of the year. Okay. Anyway, so now you're at the point. I've only got senior subsidized housing to go into if one was offered, and I thought, good grief, an apartment. There goes my mechanical loves, my fix-it stuff, everything. I'd have a balcony and a view. I don't care. I don't want to talk to the neighbors. And laundry facilities and tap water to drink. Oh boy, that would be nice. And but here it is safe. My car is safe. She has her little corral and everything. I have total privacy of nobody bothering me. But it's sometimes my landlord didn't like this one when I says the cabin feels dead to me.
Ooh.
There is nothing here.
Hmm.
Nothing. We're in the
Is,
we're in a weird spot on the highway in the middle of nowhere, and 4.5 miles to Soup Town and 10 miles to the western communities. I says, and he didn't like it, because he built this cabin for Wanda. Wanda passed away, and when I said the cabin felt dead to me, he took quite the offense to that. It felt dead to me.
and he's probably clinging to it because of his wife, and that's her life.
Maybe.
Huh.
I knew Wanda too, because my cat was very in love with Wanda back in 2002. So, but anyway, the cabin is nice. I've been looking at day beds. I've been looking at various things that would work other than sitting on a bed. I want a couch. I want a chair to sit in. I want a bed where I can put sheets on it. But that means giving up the privacy and being safe here on private property. That's a big one. Feeling safe where you live.
Right.
And there's a lot of places that are not safe around here. Way too many. And it's getting worse.
So safety is outweighing anything else right now.
Yes.
Wow, that's a heavy burden.
Or I can
That's
take
heavy.
my chance.
How can you even dream of being free of all these restrictions when there's nothing but fear out there for it? Wow.
Well, with rents being so high here, being southern Vancouver Island, I mean, nobody can afford. God, there's way too many homeless, way too many druggies, everything else. People that want to steal your stuff, vandalize or whatever. And I just want to feel safe where I am. And but the only thing left is subsidized housing for seniors. That is a dead end of the line. You put your lawn chair in the middle of the room and wait to die. Why take anything with you?
It's kind of what people go out the court site to do, a lot of people. And I don't know if people knew how deep my depression was, but I was actually considering disappearing in the desert myself a few times. I fought it by working.
Yeah,
But
working.
I was really scared of being out there last winter. I was scared of what I would do if I was out there by myself last winter. So I was kind of glad to go help somebody. I needed as much help. But that's why I can't decide what I want to do after I'm camp hosting here, because I know I don't want to be up in the snow. But if I have to be around people I want to be around or feel like I'm wanted somewhere, then that's what I'm going to do. I don't. The court site's comfortable and safe for me because it's familiar, and I know I can say hi to people every day. But there's nobody to really be with anymore there, and I would probably want to just disappear in the desert because it just, for some reason, the thought of doing what I used to do there depresses me so badly. And I don't know why. It's time for a change, probably.
Yeah, that would do it. That would do it.
But I'm kind of angry. I mean, like, what prompted this change? I was feeling nothing. I was happy and content feeling nothing. And then change happened.
That's what I'm doing living here.
I can't, though. If I did that, that would be the desert. Just go sit and wait. I that that's depression. It's
I got 25. I got 25 vacant. Well, it's not mine. People in Europe own it, but 25 vacant acres next door with a good cliff. And if I can go over there and die. I can sit in the cabin and nobody will know I'm dead until the rent is due.
These are the thoughts that go through our head. And it's, oh. And you have a lot of people who come up and say, but I care, don't do that. Or I might cry if you die. And I'm like, but what about my life? I mean, am I required? I'm not suicidal right now, guys. Don't panic. Am I required to continue living because other people say they'll miss me? That's what goes through my head when they say stuff like that. Why would I be required to continue doing something because you're going to miss me? Are you going to feed into my life to make it worthwhile to live it? If not, don't call. Maybe that's the difference when we say people don't call and somebody calls. Maybe they're not going to invest in your life and you don't. What use is the call if they're not going to invest in your life, to be honest? Does how about what do you think about that?
Yeah, I lost a lot of people when I stopped helping them and driving them around and lending them money. Good way to lose people. Lend them money. I know you don't have much. I mean, I'm out here, so I mean, he could get a lot more for this cabin, but he just wanted to rent the cabin, pay his utilities, and have a quiet tenant. That's me. And not sure where to go with that one. Um, yeah, I don't want the dead end of seniors subsidized housing, and I don't have enough money to rent a regular apartment. Now, do I want all that stuff back? Not really. All the stuff I have in here, oh God, I would not need in a normal place, most of it.
Huh.
But being in the middle of nowhere in the country, oh, you need the water jugs, you need the pumps, you need the pails for the water, you need the jump start, you need the plugs, you need everything to, be self-sufficient. You know that one. And but in a regular living situation, you can't look after your car, you can't do mechanics, you can't vacuum it, or like, really, guys.
Oh,
That's the only
city living. Yeah.
that's the only enjoyment I have is doing that kind of thing.
Mm.
And I rarely even walk out the door or open the door. It's closed now. And I open it and I say hi to my car and hi to my solar lighthouse when it's lit up. It looks nice in the yard. But living in an apartment building, you just don't have that. My car is right up at my front door.
I don't know. I think I'd like to take care of a place, but if it's just me, I don't want to do it for just me. I'm weird like that. I don't like to do stuff for myself. I like to do stuff for other people. That's what makes me happy.
Well, I thought many years ago of how do you find the people? Because you watch hoarders on TV, landlord picks the stations, and so anyway, you see hoarders. I'd like to help somebody clean up their place.
Habitat for Humanity is a good place to start. They do that in some places. Oh, you're
Okay,
not in the US. Do they
no,
have it up there in Canada?
hadn't heard
Oh,
of it.
check in
I
Washington. You could do a summer trip.
Yeah, I used to advocate for a lot of people, help a lot of people, and it cost me a lot of money to volunteer to help.
Yeah, it's not free to volunteer all the time.
No,
People don't realize how much you really invest in things that we volunteer for. They really have no idea how much we invest.
I used to drive people around to appointments and to wherever they needed to go as needed. And, some people I didn't know, but they needed help. Fine. But now they're saying, when I needed help, and I phoned up Souptown and everything else, and they said, no, there's nothing. Oh, that's great. So I just sat here and seized up. And now that now that I've got, more mobile, since, uh, that massage therapist and stuff, yeah, that helped a lot because I was really locked up. And, you know, everything falls on the floor, and just bending over to pick something up, and you thought, how am I going to help anybody when I'm like this?
Yeah. I don't know. I love organizing, man. I am in my happy place. So when I did Habitat Humanity, when we went in and cleaned up hoarding places, I was in my heyday. Oh, was it so fun?
Yeah.
I love doing that stuff. but you can't force it on people either. So there's that too.
You too. How are you doing?
Then Nobby, you're really quiet as usual. I'm gonna adjust your mic. Don't touch it.
You adjust it, so I'll end up echoing all over my head.
There. Now you're louder.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yep.
How are you doing, both of you? Okay. You both okay?
Yep.
Cool.
We're fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
Birds are not you in America.
Do you know what fine means? We figured it out. When you ask somebody, how are you? And they say, I'm fine. It usually means I don't want to tell you how I really am.
Sure,
That's a new one for me.
But it does. Think about it. Because if somebody's really fine, they're going to start talking about something good that's happening to them. That's if they're really fine. Unless it's a business meeting. But, if they're not fine, they're just going to say, I'm fine, and that's it. And you're going to say, okay, you don't want to talk to me? Bye.
Well, I can always get bus over.
What?
I can always get the bus over to your place.
You're going to get the bus over? The short bus or the long bus?
Next 32. With special needs.
So, Nobby, we're talking about depression.
I heard that. It sounded very, very hilarious. Not enough funny.
Do you suffer from depression, Nobby?
I don't think so, no.
Never?
I'm happy to be alive. I'm 61, for fuck's sake.
Well, I guess we need someone in here that sort of lifts it up a bit.
Except we're paneling with the purpose.
Depression.
We're paneling with a purpose today, Nobby.
Hey?
Okay, what's not being depressed like? How about that one?
Oh, I can't do with miserable people. You know what I mean?
We're miserable and you're here.
No, you're not. You're opposite of what you're saying that you are. You've got your own family show on YouTube and everything.
Great, he's come in to cheer us up. Great. Okay.
I order you to cheer up.
But that's
life is going to be rosy.
It has, yeah. White roses around here in Yorkshire.
But the problem is when people come at us when we're depressed and expecting us to instantly cheer up, that doesn't work.
Well, it doesn't really work if you've got Babylon on top of your head, like landlords and governments and illnesses and things like that, does it?
So if we're trying to be satisfied with life and that stuff's weighing on us, what else could we do?
Smoke more weed.
That doesn't fix everything.
I'm allergic to weed. It's a THC.
More toys.
It doesn't fix everything.
Well,
if it did,
anyway. Wendy, you're playing games all the time, aren't you? You like playing with toys just the same as I do.
I do.
Yeah. Which is
that's how thing that's what makes that's what makes me live. If I did not have the games or something to enjoy, I would not even be here anymore. If I didn't have a game to turn on during the day, I don't know if I would still be here. I have to do something to lift myself out. I can't stay stuck in my feelings all day long. They try to keep me there. They try to trap me because my brain works overtime trying to keep me trapped there. Because that's what it knows.
Yeah, I'm too busy wondering what on earth them other people are up to. I'm thinking like they must be really pissed off at people. It makes me you just look at other people, you just think, how on earth can you be depressed? You know what I mean? Look
Well,
at them.
because we became dissatisfied with life, and
Imagine being
we're
wake up as
struggling,
Joe
and
Biden one morning or something like that.
and
Or you
and
wake
we're
up as a policewoman, or you wake up as a prison
no,
guard.
it's because we become dissatisfied with something in life, and we're struggling to find a way to become satisfied with it. People telling us how to get over it doesn't work. And people telling us to take a happy pill doesn't work. Playing games relieves the stress sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
but it does not fix it. And so I'm going to turn Nobby's mic back on because he's not staying on topic. Hi, Nobby.
I'm on topic. I'm telling you, stop taking drugs and stop taking pharma. That is the most. It
I'm
is
not
a
even taking
depression
I'm not
sucks.
even taking an antidepressant. I took medications when I needed to slow my heart down because it needed to be slowed down immediately. I was
I,
headed to the ER again.
have you got an alarm for your heart rate?
Yes, it's
Have you got?
called panic.
No, don't get to that stage. That's the cure.
Nobby, we don't want someone to come in here and tell us what he thinks all the
I'm not
solutions are.
telling you anything.
We
I'm
wanted to
just joining the
discuss it among
conversation.
we want to discuss how we're feeling, our feelings inside of us. We have feelings.
Okay, I'll tell you about my feelings if you want.
Okay? I'm scared, but go ahead.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. I'm just a Yorkshire dude, you know. People are different all over the place, aren't we? You know, everybody's different.
I think a lot of depression comes from losses. Things we once knew, and I wake up some days and I think, oh, I got to get ready for. I'm not going to work.
Yep.
That was
Yeah,
gone. That was gone in '93, 2010 was the end of the typewriter shop, and like, wait a minute, that's 14 years ago. A lot of it's losses, thinking we can, or I get up and I go to put something where I did when I lived at 301, or in my apartment in Niagara Street in the late 70s. I thought, listen, your brain's trying to tell you where your happy places were. How, all you can do is kind of think about these things, write them down if you want, and kind of try and manifest something to change. I did this. I went to a hypnotherapist, and I told her, I says, yeah, I got a little cabin. She says, you manifested it. I thought, wow, that's interesting. I wanted a little cabin out in the woods in the middle of nowhere where I could sit and write, which I haven't done any writing at all. And but I've got some ideas, and now it's coming around. It's starting to settle down. It's starting to level out, and I'm just gonna let it roll and not make any plans, and just see, take care of things as I need to. And if something comes up that I want to write, yeah, I've got a bunch of ideas. I used to do an awful lot of writing. I did like over 500 poems, and I got 4 chapters of Buddy's book written. And I've got some other ideas for just writing, and not so much about me, I guess just about life. Nobody tells you when you're growing up all the crap you're going to run into when you get older.
Yeah, that's true. I have a few jokes about that one, which I can't tell online, but woo.
Oh, no? Those jokes.
No. But is it kind of like being able to wake up and have a sense of purpose and meaning?
Yeah.
that's definitely a thing. Yeah. And when they come to be, let's say, our age,
I got two young'uns here. Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
right, yeah. When it's difficult enough to look after yourself, yeah. If you can once a week or so, give 5 minutes to say a stranger or something, it can help,
So you said you don't have any depression. What do you do to have a sense of purpose and meaning every day?
Because I've seen so much depression from other people in my life that I'm immune to it. I
But
don't get it myself.
what do you do for a sense of purpose and meaning, though?
I do as best I can, learn something every day.
So your whole
Learning,
purpose to
learning
live is to
toys
learn
and
something every day?
stretching your brain is a big thing. See, we can't stretch our legs anymore because we're all knackered.
Mine stretch in unique ways. So there you go.
Like that, you know what I mean? Anything above that, I've got to get help.
So anyway, then the question number 2 on the depression questions was, do you often get bored? But I think everybody gets bored now. I never really got bored. I think to me, bored is when there's something I want to do and something's in the way of me doing it. That's bored to me, because then I
Yeah,
got to find something else to do, and I can't become content with doing something else when I want to do that one thing.
I don't get bored. Never have. Wish I could. Maybe I'd get some new ideas, but I've never been bored in my life.
That was always my definition of it. But I have, since last summer, I have actually experienced real boredom. And I'm like, this is insanity. It's scary to me. It's like I need to get up and do something immediately. I get up and start pacing. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this?
So what does boredom feel like? I've never known that.
It's horrible. It's like I'm trying to grasp in my brain to do something and I can't figure out what to do. What would bring me contentment at the time? Like you're not feeling content, but you don't know what to do to bring contentment. And you don't even know what you want. And you're just sitting there laying there going, I got to do something. Usually I end up going to sleep because I don't know how to handle it.
That's probably my solution. I've never been bored in my life that I ever recall. And I thought, that's weird.
Yeah, last summer, probably the first time I experienced real boredom. I'm like, holy cow. Because there wasn't anything else I really wanted to do. I was doing my thing. All of a sudden, I'm like, why do I want to do something? I don't know what. Not comfortable, but I don't know what to do to get comfortable. Then the other one, we kind of hit on it when we talked about the satisfied. The other question is feeling helpless, like things are out of control, inability to make something happen. That's probably my biggest source of anxieties. Is I'm uncomfortable. I know I want something, but I don't know how to go about getting it, or it's not in my control.
How do you control? That's a problem, isn't it? It's when somebody else or something is needed to be able to fulfill the time of day that you
Yes.
have at the moment. It's like, I want to do this, but somebody's stopping me from doing it, or something, or you know what I mean? Something out of your control.
I guess
Which
that's
means to
why
say
a
you should
lot of
change your mind and
parents
do something else.
that's why a lot of parents with disabled kids get depressed, is because a lot of things are out of their control.
No,
Exactly.
that's understandable. Yeah.
Yeah. You're starting to get what type of
So
conversation I was going to come into as well.
oh yeah,
Continue talking about that, Wendy.
about the control. I can be a
Yeah.
control freak in my life, mostly because I grew up in an environment that I was hated. by my mother. My dad was gone all the time.
I think
I
we
was
all were.
bullied at school. I was bullied at home. I really had no safe place, no people. There was a nun that would come to the school every year and sing "You Are My Sunshine." She looked at me one time while she's singing, so I thought she was singing that to me. So I looked
Oh, she
forward
was
to her
big.
coming every year just to have someone to sing to me.
31 children in class and you have to pick on me.
But yeah, I had a lot of things out of my control. I wasn't allowed to breathe normal when I was a kid either. My mom would yell and scream, "I don't want to hear you breathing." So I learned to breathe really, really shallow. She's always yelling at me to go wash my face because they have to be the ones to look at me. And so I wasn't allowed to control my own body.
Did you get rid of them then, like
So
I did to mine?
when I can't control or
I just
know an
threw my
answer
parents out
around
the
me,
fucking window, you know what I'm saying? They're so fucking
when I
ridiculous.
can't know the answers or control something around me, it's sheer panic.
I told
It's
my
sheer
family to
panic.
fuck off when I was 15. Yeah. I ended up living in Woods for last year at my school to do my O levels and things. Yeah. Still
I
give a
lived
shit
in the
about me.
woods
And
for
I'm
3
saying,
months after school. When I turned 18, I left, took my tent,
yeah,
and went down by the creek.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's exactly where I've coming from as well. So, so we haven't really got close family to really bother about, have we, to influence our lives or anything. Just get on with our own lives and, forget about everybody else. Become a more powerful person doing it as well.
Yeah, but at some point, you want
Independence
to
at a young
connect with
age.
people.
Sorry, Wendy, I didn't hear that bit.
I said at some point, you want to connect with people.
Oh, yeah, but not the people you've had wars with. You got to throw them out the window, you know, no matter who they are, you know. Your brothers, your sisters, your aunties, uncles, whatever. Your boss, whatever. Yeah?
Well, yeah.
Your landlord, your government. I don't know. But then again, I'm a bloke, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, guys are a little bit different. I
We
think
have
you
we're
have
very
depression
much
on
like
smaller scales.
uh, undeterred a bit, if you know what I'm saying. We aren't as well, we're not female, are we? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All
Totally
right.
different.
So
The way we
question
think and
number
talk.
4 on the depression thing is, do you prefer to stay at home rather than going out and doing new things? And we kind of discussed that one
Absolutely
because
stay at home because it's a place that you've made.
of feeling safe. We're choosing to feel safe. But my problem is
It's a
I
pain in the
can't
ass
make
having to
that
come
kind of
back home
choice.
after half an hour if you've left a spliff at home or something like that, isn't it? Whenever I go out, I always leave some at home. I have to come back anyway.
Yeah, living here, every time I go out, it's spending money, and I thought, well, yeah, if don't spend money, then I can save a bit, and I've got enough. I've got enough now to, if I could, if something came up, I have the ability to put the rent, the damage deposit, and pay for the movers. After
Wow.
that, pretty much screwed. But otherwise, after that, but I really scrimped and deprived myself of a lot of things to, you know, if I don't go out, I don't spend money. And I used to go out maybe once or twice a month at the most. And that was just to get groceries. That's about it. There was nothing there. There was nobody to go with. There was nobody to call. There was nothing. So that helped to save the money to move out here. I didn't have much of an income back then. I still don't, but it's better. It got better when I turned 65 or even 60. But at the same time, I just thought, if I don't go out, I don't spend money. and that way I have some options if it came up. I mean, I'd love to rent a regular old barn with some wiring, drive my car in underneath, and live up top. That would be
Fun.
my, and have laundry facilities and drinking water. I'm sorry, but it gets old. I mean, those
It does.
45 bugs, I got 2 of them now to fill. Oh my God. I just got my back fixed, and yeah, gotta lift
I got
those.
the laundromats are not fun. I got to go to those every 2 weeks about.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so the last question, and this is the one that I have struggled with all my life. Do you feel pretty worthless the way you are now? Why? And what would you think adds value to somebody's worth that you don't have? That's the trick question. What adds value to worth that you think you don't have?
Working.
How does working add to a person's worth other than financial worth?
I loved working. I had 2 jobs. I had a
That's what
part-time
I was
job.
getting at. Yep. I like working too because you have that sense of meaning and purpose for a little bit anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to volunteer around here, it's going to cost me money because I'm going to go somewhere. Um,
What, it
yeah,
costs you money to
I'd
do
like to
stuff
be
for
able to
free?
say
It
what?
costs you money to do stuff for free, you're saying?
It cost money for me to camp post here. I had to buy a ticket to park my truck.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I
It
got to
costs.
pay for. Yeah, I'll wear out my car with gas and transportation. I can't
Yeah.
buy another car. I just got
And
my.
when I go travel to help a friend, there's the travel cost. There's all kinds of costs added up to things. It's not free to go help somebody.
No.
It's cost me an awful lot of money through a lot of years, back into the 80s even, helping other people. I was working then, I could do it better. But even when I didn't have the money, people would ask to borrow $2. And this was when I lived at Tillicum. That was a different animal. But anyway, and one guy knocked on my door and asked if he could borrow $2. And I says, I don't have it. But I handed him a tin of stew, and he looked at me like he just wanted to throw it away. I thought, well, I would have liked the stew, but if you need food, there you go. So yeah, when I stopped lending people money, everybody went away. Other people moved on or died, and at my age, it is really weird to try and find anybody worthwhile, being around. My 80-year-old friend John, I was in a jewelry shop in Souk, and he was in that there too. I was asking about a pair of earrings that I was given, like, can you sage them or do something? I like them, but I can't wear them anymore. And so anyway, and he asked if I wanted to go for coffee. Actually, my massage therapist asked this. He says, "How did you meet?" I says, "Well, I was in the jewelry store in Souk. He was in the jewelry store, and he says, would you like to go for coffee?" Not normally, but he didn't seem creepy, so I did.
You're not creepy, I'll go.
Like, some people are just like, I don't think so.
By the way.
Yeah. So, and John looks much younger for his age. He looks like he's in his late 60s, early 70s, very early 70s. And he dresses so nicely. He loves to dress. And he gets compliments on the way he dresses. Not me. I dress the same way since 1986. I haven't changed anything. So anyway,
still in his school uniform.
Say what?
Still in his school uniform.
School uniform?
He's still got his school uniform from when he was 15. 65-year-old dressing.
Oh my God. No, no. No, when I went to motorcycle school and everything, and I bought this vest in 1986, I'm still wearing it.
Yeah, yeah.
And just black t-shirts and pants and the vest, and I don't dress up. I don't want to be noticed. I don't want anybody going, "Oh, you look nice today." I don't want to hear any of that crap.
Oh, so I shouldn't have said that at the beginning of the thing. When you came on, I said, "Oh, you look pretty today." I shouldn't have said that.
No, no. It's just when people dress up for attention. Like
Oh, okay.
they want to be noticed. They put on their and some people do it to feel better about themselves. I understand that, but I just want to blend in with the woodwork and pavement and other things, and you know people gleep on anyway. But it's just can I just blend in with the pavement? So
I'm gonna go mute. So I'm gonna make a cup of tea. And Wendy, Mona's backstage. Do you know that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's going mute.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Is it still raining near Wendy?
hey, Mona!
Yes, honey, and we're having a discussion right now about depression, which we're almost over that one, and then I'm getting ready to do the other slideshows.
Oh, well, I just come on to let you know that I'm going to be going live at 6:00 with some real deep conversation. Okay, one of those where I got to really watch what I say and how I say it. Okay, so that I can't understand. So I'll probably be using a few of these. Okay, kind of hand signals while I'm doing my live this evening. But I have some I have a plan. I don't know. Have you heard? He's been found guilty on 34 charges.
Who?
Trump.
This is a panel discussion on the slideshow series, Mona.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well, I'm gonna go because I got to get ready to go live. I just had been trying to reach you, and I keep missing you. You're
okay.
Okay.
What is that, Mona?
Yep.
Because I'm in England. 6:00. What's that in England?
Okay.
Right.
I'll see you later, guys.
All right. Bye.
See you later, Mona.
Wow, it's hard to focus, isn't it? Huh?
What's 6:00 at your time? Is it in 3 hours' time or something?
No, it's in 45 minutes. But
right. Okay.
I needed to be done by 6 because something else is happening at 6, and now I can't even remember. And something was happening at 6, but whatever.
It's only 3:13 p.m. here.
Yeah, it's 5:13, and Mona's in my time zone, so it's 45 minutes from now. But anyway, all right. So we have the other one about not stopping the brain and the overthinking. I'm going to put that one up. I don't have any questions formulated for that one though.
Where was you? That trick question you were talking about. What was that again?
A trick question?
You know the just repeat the question again.
I don't remember the question, so how can I repeat it?
Well, you started it. Was it part 3 of your book or whatever?
The impossible quiz?
Yeah, that thing. Yeah. No.
Oh God, I saw that.
You were some other type of thing. I can't remember now. When Mona's turned up.
Oh,
I'm remembering like a sieve.
All right, so here comes. Well, wait, I put it on the screen, don't I? Okay, this is the help.
As much as I love Garfield, that was wearing me out.
Oh yeah, Garfield. All right, so this is the next one. Was actually the third one in the series, but I'm putting it up next because it's connected to my depression a lot of times. Because it feeds the depression for me. I have such a lovely brain. But anyway, these are slow on purpose. They're meant to be uncomfortably slow.
You do have a lovely brain, Wendy. You do. I wish I had a brain somewhat like yours. I could use a little bit of yours to really help mine.
That's part of why I'm doing some of these, because we can help each other.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm going to have to mute everybody here. I'll mute you all first and then start it. There we go. Very much connected.
How do celebrities like?
It's very much connected. It's connected to the I can't take a hint too. Everybody's unmuted.
That was really that was really well done, Wendy. You expressed yourself very well with that.
Well,
really.
It's my brain is my enemy most of the time. It'll just make stuff up. And I've gotten so much braver with questions.
Do you think you can help me eat this one?
That's too much. I'm off of sugar. That much sugar would put me in a coma. If I have
just special offer at the moment, they've been mispriced. So I've got 20 of them.
Wow. If I even have one marshmallow, the sugar is so high, I get really uncomfy. So not used to sugar anymore.
Chocolate. Chocolate.
Now there was a slide that I was going to talk about. Now I can't remember. The P of circle. The circle of P. I can't. That one makes me laugh every time, but that's what it was.
Yeah, I was at a camp for 2 weeks one time, and I was scared to get up and go outside to go to the bathroom or something. So apparently, I kind of remember letting it rip in the sleeping bag, and I thought, oh, but I was like 12 at the time, so oh well, that's what it was.
But what caused this great fear of people knowing we have to have a bodily function? That's what's really weird. Why did I have so much fear over somebody knowing I had to go to the bathroom? You should have seen on airplanes. I would hold it for the entire flight, because if I got up and walked, everyone knew I was going to pee. And I couldn't go.
You ever get so full that you just sit there and go, make it wear off, and then you get that little break and make a run for the bathroom.
Yeah. I am in a micro camper. That's why I have the EPS system, the emergency potty system, because you can't stay in your sleeping bag too long because it's warm. I'm not saying I had an accident, but I have had to run full speed to an outhouse before.
But the thing is, when your bladder goes now, and you think no, and you just gotta, like, you can tap yourself on your leg or wave your fists back and forth, and then it'll come out of its little spasm mode, and you make the run for it, and you make it most of the time.
There will be someday when I don't, I know. But yeah. I have the EPS. We all need an EPS. Do you know back in the days before there was plumbing in the house, they did not go to the outhouse out in the middle of the night. They used a little porta potty thing they kept under the beds. And Mama would have to clean them things out in the morning. That would be depression.
Yeah, we were lucky when we were kids. We had the outside cars, just behind back at kitchen and back garden.
Okay, so we were talking about the fight and flight. The fight and flight response that they mentioned on there, that's the amygdala, which is why I'm an overthinker, because I never, ever knew when my mom was going to go off. I never knew when anybody was going to go off. It was like sitting in the house. It's like working Jackson Hewitt tax season. You're waiting for the freaking bomb to blow up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's part of it, Wendy. You never know. Like when I grew up by myself. You know, from 4 years old, I was making my own sandwiches. There was no dinners. I was the only kid, so it didn't matter. I was just in the way. So I removed myself from that situation, moved into the basement, did whatever I needed to do to go away, where nobody would bother me, and I wouldn't get in trouble if I wasn't seen or heard. And the thing is, yeah, and how did you say it? You never know when somebody's going to go off. And I kind of learned that. I've kind of picked up on it sometimes, but I don't know. I think I've learned to handle it. You're on guard all the time.
Yep. If I don't know the answer to something, holy cow, my brain. It won't let it go. It does not feel safe in not knowing the answer. It really can't. It won't even let me relax, nothing. I feel like it's my enemy some days, because it just won't let go something that I should feel like I should be able to let go. Normal people let go. Why can't I?
Okay, little hint for you, Wendy. What was it? Oh man, come back, brain. I need you. We had a thought. Oh man, that was taking me traveling. What you were saying. Try again. I'm not like this to lose it. I was trying to keep the thought, but I lost it.
And the fact that my mom, it's in a good heart to know. If it's in your heart and you're a good person, you're going to know what to do magically. And if I don't know, then what makes that makes me a horrible person. Nobody wants to be around that. I'm in the way, kind of thing.
Yeah, I was in the way too, so I just removed myself from the situation.
So I'm that annoying friend who's always asking about things. Are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? But what else can I do? It's like, from what my brain is interpreting, it's saying you're mad, but in my memory, I don't remember why. So I have to ask. If I don't ask, then I just assume you're mad, and there goes the friendship down the drain over nothing.
Okay, here's something that might be useful that I heard on a comedy thing one time. The 3 hardest words for any man to say.
Bye. Goodbye is one of them.
This might help your brain. I don't know.
Oh, that's scary.
Because most guys go at it, they butcher whatever they're doing and saying, well, you wanted me to do it, so I did it. But you got to really trust a guy when you ask him something, because guys have, excuse me, Nobby, just for a minute here. Most guys have all the answers for everything, and they are correct, even if they're wrong. You're going to believe them. But the hardest thing, it's really neat when you meet up with a fella and you ask him something and say, well, my car's not starting. And they say, I don't know. That takes a lot for a fella to say. And in your brain, you're trying to find answers.
Women has to do it for me, didn't it? You know what I'm saying? I do the welding and they do the washing up. I don't know that about women's stuff.
That's not what she was saying.
I know nothing about women's stuff. And I choose not to know. It's always a surprise every time I meet one.
Well, I heard that on a comedy show one time. That the 3 hardest words for any man to say is, I don't know. Because they know everything. A lot
I
of
don't
them.
know bigger all about women, man. They're absolutely so complicated. You couldn't imagine. They use hoovers. They wash windows and stuff like that. What blokes never do. Do we? To be honest.
Nobby, women are born without the same brain as men.
I know.
And women often
called male.
We should never know what we're like. It should be always a mystery.
Now, on the comedy show too. On the comedy show too.
You get these blokes in libraries with stick-on tits and that. What on earth's going through their heads? I haven't got a bloody clue. Like.
Okay, go ahead, Annie. He's temporarily muted. Go ahead.
On the comedy show, the guy was also saying, women often wonder, they say, what are you thinking? And the guy says, nothing. Now, inside almost every man's brain, we have all these little boxes. And in the very center, there's the nothing box, where we don't think about anything. So when you ask us what we're thinking, all our other boxes are just, they're in storage right now, and we're living in our nothing box. And I thought that was a very great description of putting it together. So when you ask a guy, what are you thinking? And they say, nothing. That's the little box in the very center of the brain that they're living in at the moment. I thought that was really well done. I wish I couldn't do it as well as the comedian did it, but I thought that was a great answer and it's helped me a lot. Women don't have it.
I wish I had a nothing box to just sit and have nothing to think about. That would be wonderful.
Okay, Wendy, here's an idea for you.
Okay.
You get a little box, whatever you want for a box. Paper, cardboard, decorative, go buy one in a store. And when we don't have the nothing box and it's external. Okay? Guys have it built in. They're lucky. Okay, so you have a thought going through your brain. Write it down on a piece of paper and put it in your nothing box.
Oh, that's not going to do anything. I've tried to do something like that before. It does nothing. All it does is make me put more papers in, and all of a sudden I can't keep up with the writing. My nothing box becomes my everything box, and it's got it all inside. I told you. I don't have a nothing box. It's just going to become an everything box.
In other words, you need another camper to bolt behind your camper so you can put the little insert.
There you go.
Everything you try not to think about, I don't know. Write it 20 times on a piece of paper, the same thought, what you're thinking, what you're thinking, what you're thinking, what you're thinking, what you're thinking. See if it helps. Shake it, rattle it around. It's not going to do anything sitting there. You got to rattle it to see if there's really anything in there.
Yeah.
I did that one time, but I really like the idea of the male nothing box that females are not born with. And we have to make our own external nothing box.
Which I'll automatically fill up because I'm going.
Not if you write it out 20 times or 25 times and put it in there and says,
I can show you some journaling my counselors had me do. Journaling is not my thing. Writing it down, I can do some writing, but to intentionally journal it don't do nothing. It just causes sore hands and paper accumulation everywhere in my camper, and then I throw them all out and start over again because there's too many papers to organize.
No. They all got to go in that box.
They wouldn't go in that box. They wouldn't go in.
Well, it was a thought. It was a thought.
Well, the best thing I have when I'm like that and I need to get organized thoughts is organizing something physically. Because then my brain's full speed going into organizing and it can work without me knowing it. That's the problem. When I know my brain's supposed to be doing something, it fights itself. But if I subconsciously direct to organizing another project, my brain starts sorting things out automatically. It doesn't stop when I'm done organizing. So that's how I do it. I can't intentionally look at it and tell my brain, hey, think about this or go over here. There's none of that. It's just do an exercise to make it get organized or feed it some high excitement. That works sometimes. That's a temporary fix. It's a fun temporary fix sometimes too, but it's not a long-term fix. And that's the thing is long-term fixes. Nobody else can long-term fix this, not even the counselors. We have to navigate our own brains. And I have so many people who get mad at me. They tell me this idea, that idea, and they're like, but you're fighting all the ideas. And I'm like, well, it's natural for me to use the word but, because that protects my brain. And secondly, I can't just take it in. It's got to become part of something I want to do, not something somebody's telling me to do. Because it doesn't make sense if you just tell me to do it. It doesn't make sense to me at all. My brain's got to go on that journey. It's rare to go on a journey. It ain't got nowhere to go. It's just going to go in circles.
Well, you see dogs doing that to get comfortable to lay down. They turn and they turn and they turn and they turn and they turn.
That is true. That doesn't make the floor more comfortable and it doesn't help them find the spot. That is a brain thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so tell a dog it doesn't help. He's going to do it anyway.
True. There you go. I'm a dog. I'm joking.
So I'll go on the same subject, yeah, but it's a bit. It's a man subject.
Okay. Do the man thing then.
Right. You two birds are in America, yeah, right, yeah,
I am.
and it doesn't sound like
Annie's
you're
not.
getting on with the. Where are you, Annie? I've got. Whereabouts in the world are you, Annie?
She's in Canada.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Right, Canada's really in America as well, anyway. It's because there's like there's Canadian province in America, and it's what's it called? That place, New Orleans, isn't it? It's sort of
Yeah,
Canadian, isn't it?
that's way kitty corner down.
Yeah, but
I,
that's in
I,
America, and that's
I
Canadian contact, isn't it? You know, and you've got indigenous tribes in Canada as well as America.
Okay, but
So
what's this got to do with the male thing? Hurry up, Nobby. You're losing me.
I'm
we
saying,
need your male brain.
right? I thought you were both in America, okay? So have you ever visited or joined in with the indigenous tribes of your country, like in Canada or America, ever, and tried their way of life? You know, that's how they live on your continents, and they seem to be pretty happy
They
people.
do, but they're not
The more
entirely
prone to
welcome. They're
sensitivity.
not entirely welcoming to Americans coming to live on tribal land.
Or you do not identify as an American when you go knocking on the door, do you?
You would stand out
You
if
go
you went
knock on an
over to
Indian's
tribal
door
land. They would
as
know
a
you
flag
were
of
not
India
from the
or
tribe.
whatever. Yeah, and you sit round campfire with them and smoke peace pipes and do all that, whatever they traditionally do, you know. Join the community, try it out. You're in the right continent to do it. Canada, America. All we've
So
got in
now,
England
so
is
now you're
indigenous
telling
English
us
people like myself,
you're
you know.
you're
So,
suggesting the solution is
not a solution. I'm saying it's a
oh,
different way of looking at. You
it's a
know,
different way of looking
you're
at it,
living
but
in
it's
the
not as
continent,
simple as
which
you
is,
think it is.
but you're both living in continents, yeah, which the British Empire's taken over, yeah. So really, the reason why you probably can't go to these Indian meetings because you're American or Canadian is because you identify as being Canadian or American. If you can go knock on their door and say, "I hope I'm an Indian as well, mate," you know. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
this is the male
This is the name.
version
How
of
you
I
doing?
can't
You know what I'm
stop
saying?
my mind.
And then after a few days, you get your own wigwam or whatever, you know? You don't have to worry about your car or your shower
He's
or whatever.
one of his bosses right now.
I'm beginning to think so.
No, you were all complaining earlier on about your living conditions and things like that, which is
We're not.
westernized. It's
We're
westernized, isn't it?
stating the things in our mind that are giving us discontent, which is feeding to our depression. And we're
Yeah,
also
which is
stating that there are
fueling
some
you
things we
having
can
to go to
change, but we
laundromat and
don't.
things like that, which is the thing which has gone against your calm way of life, you know, because you're having to push buttons, you're having to put petrol in your car and things like that. Whereas if you were living with the native people of your country, would you necessarily need any of them things? I don't think so. I think you could look
Well,
after
that's
yourself and
another
not any of them
choice
and
people
stuff.
can make.
Yeah.
It is our choices, but
And
how much is in our
you're in that part of
control
the world
within the
where it
choices
is,
we.
you know. I've only got Indigenous England in me because I am an Indigenous English person on an island, so therefore, you know, I'm quite happy, you know. It's
But
where my families and everything came from, you know.
how does that fix your brain from overthinking?
Well, it stops. I'm talking about what stopped your brain. What you were talking about before was like you have to go to the laundromat and all this. You got to put petrol in your car. You're having to live in small, squalid conditions because the government depicts to you how you live, and you got to have
Well, but
licenses
we've
and you got
made
to
some
pay for
choices
stuff
on
to,
how
to
we
do stuff for
live.
free.
We've
Yeah,
made choices on how we live. No one told us how we had to
yeah.
live. We're
Well,
talking about how our choices are affecting how we're
you've got
living
different. You're
and
lucky
how it's
because you live
making
in a
us
place where you've got
feel.
a choice.
We're not here to have someone tell us we have to live another way in order to feel
No,
better.
but you've got a choice in America and Canada. Whereas England, we've only got
Everybody
our
has a
indigenous
choice.
people. We
True.
can't go join another tribe or something like that because there's no such thing in England.
I don't
You know,
think
you
joining
could
a
be,
tribe is going to fix all my problems, to tell you the truth.
well, I don't know, do I? I don't know what Indians do in America, you know, whatever they're called, Chief Cherokees or whatever they are.
I don't think they can fix my problems. I think only me can
Learn
fix
the
my
language and
problems.
things like that, you know. You're on their land. Why don't you learn their language, and then go speak to them, and it might be a bit different in their language, and then they'll go, "Hey, up, this bird
Okay,
has
well,
just come to visit our camp
that's a
because
good
that's what it
solution
was."
for you, but that's not a good solution for
It's a
me.
thing. It's a thing that I'd love to have in this country to be able to have the choice myself to do. I'd love to go join like
But
whatever
you can go to another
Indian
country
tribe
and
or
do it.
something. But there's such thing in this
What
country.
stops you from going and doing it, Nobby? You can just move to
There's
another
not any
country.
tribes in England apart from English people like myself.
You can
We
go
are the
live in another
indigenous
country
tribes.
and have it.
I'm not leaving my homeland like you lot did. What's
And
the
this is
problem?
why we haven't made those choices either, is it?
Yeah, but you were forced to be in America. Your family was enslaved and put there.
So that means I have to go join an indigenous tribe and learn to live their way,
Well,
and
it'd
then
be a hell of a
I'm
lot more
suddenly going to
polite
be
than
happy and
being
my life is
invited
going to
like an
be fixed.
American in a country that you don't belong in. Yeah, you should follow their traditions and rules exactly the same as people when they come to England. They follow our Christian values, yeah, and they don't go against our rules and regulations, if you know what I'm saying. Whereas when you've invaded a country like America and Canada and places like that you are still the prisoners, if you know. You are the people who have taken their land off them, you know, and disrespected them by not speaking their language and not going through their traditions, and you know.
A lot of indigenous places around here, um, they like to keep to themselves.
Yeah,
And to be welcomed in takes an awful lot.
you've got
Actually,
to be you've got to respect who they are. That's the reason why they're not inviting you in,
well,
because they think you're
totally,
American and because they think you're
absolutely.
Canadian.
But who said I
You-
want to live the way they live?
Nobody
Who
does.
says that would make?
At least you've got the choice, whereas in England we haven't got that type of choice. We've only got
I don't.
ourselves.
I
Yeah.
have more choices than indigenous or non-indigenous. I have far more choices than that.
They've even banned squatting in England. You know what I'm saying? You can't even go, you know, go off the government scream and just go look after yourself. You know? Yeah. You
So
can't
that
even do
means I
what we
shouldn't
do
have
there.
any
You
depression
can't
because
even
I
get
can do these
campers and
things.
camp in woods and stuff anymore. You
So
know?
what you're saying is because I can do these things, I shouldn't have depression? But I have
No.
depression anyway.
I-
Explain it.
I'm just saying you've got less things to be depressed about than English ladies.
It's not about being depressed about things. It's about a state of mind and being unsatisfied of where you are and what you're doing in life. For me,
Yeah, we
it
know
has
that.
to do with meaning and purpose.
A lot of it's to do with where you are, what situation you're in, bills, rent, angry neighbours, politicians.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
that's taking in externals. I'm talking about the internal. The
Okay,
externals will
yeah.
make me miserable no matter what. It's the internals that I'm struggling with because that's the only thing I have control over.
Hmm.
And also, too, with moving, um,
We can't just up and move every time we need a happy life. You're going to get
No,
there, you're going to find problems.
you've got to
There's
find a
problems
place.
everywhere.
That is the thing, is to find the
it's
place, isn't it?
always a trade off of where you're living, what problems you run into.
Yeah,
Exactly. What are you willing to give up and what are you not willing to give up?
yeah.
Right, exactly.
And that's why you say you're there because of the safety factor. That need for safety is so much bigger than everything else.
Yeah, I haven't had it for a lot of years, except living here. And I came out here to recuperate from my previous place when it went all haywire down there. But to find another place, I mean, the housing is so expensive and it's so limited. And to find a nice rental, now I've got to consider that when I move, that's going to be my last move.
Yeah.
And if I've got some weird neighbors or problems or anything,
You're stuck with it.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm done.
So sometimes it's about what need is the strongest. So sometimes it's just the safety factor.
Yeah.
Everything else can be thrown at you and be plentiful. If you're unsatisfied in that one area, you're not going to be able to grasp. It's like the hierarchical chart. I used to teach this at the art studio. If you don't have your basic needs met, you can't go up the hierarchical chart to feeling safe. If you don't have water and food, there's no way anyone can make you feel safe. If you don't feel like you're worth something, there's no amount of food in the world that can do that. You've got to go up the chart. You've got to go up and build up this entire chart all the way back up to the self-esteem part to have any value. You've got to feel safe and secure. You've got to have people around you to make you feel that. If you don't have anyone around you to make you feel safe and secure, you're not going to grow and you're not going to get up to the self-actualization part of that chart is where we are when we're not depressed, basically.
Yep. And what's going to make us
there is a need that needs to be met. How do you get that need met? If you're relying on other people or outside circumstances or where you live to fix that need, it's not going to get met. We have to learn to manipulate our. That's why I brought these panels up, because we don't need the stupid textbook solutions. Go out, make your life happy. No, we need to process our brains. What's going to make us feel satisfied?
We don't need anybody to make us happy, like, do we? You know what I'm saying? Do it ourselves by now, you know?
What's going to make us feel satisfied and process that? What's unsatisfactory in our life? How do I process that? Is it something I can measure it out? Which need is pulling me stronger than the other needs? My need to belong right now is so low. That's why I can't get anywhere, because I need to feel like I belong somewhere, like I'm wanted somewhere. That's the one that's really, really strong right now.
I'm not entirely wanted here, but I'm tolerated. My landlord doesn't want to be a landlord.
Okay.
And anyway, so he just leaves me alone. He has another tenant on the other side. They're buddies, but nobody talks to me. And no neighbors on the other side either. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I've got British next door. I've got British all around me, so I don't go anywhere near them. You know?
But see, we've all gone to YouTube, so we obviously want to reach out to people. We just don't know where to go from there.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I just do my own thing.
And you might be content with it. What we're saying is I have some level of unsatisfaction because I don't feel like I belong anywhere. I don't feel like I have enough worth that somebody wants to keep me around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That will pass. That will pass, Wendy.
It did pass a long time ago when I stopped dating and getting involved and hooking with people for 20 years. I didn't feel. But when the my heart wants to feel again, I have to have people around. I can't be by myself. I don't feel like I was ever designed to be by myself.
That's okay. That's okay. And the way I grew up from very, very young, I was alone, so I didn't know any different. So being around people is a learning experience for me, and it may be a very slow learning curve to be able to do that.
Still learning. I feel like a teenager in a lot of areas because I just never had a chance to grow in them. I'm like a little kid inside.
That's what I love about you, Wendy. That's what I love about you. You're just you, and
it's a lot more fun than being a kid.
Yeah, and I still feel like I'm in my 30s. You know, and which doesn't fit in with a lot of things, and my 80-year-old friend John tells everybody he's 39. And so anyway, when he turns 81 in September, you reverse the numbers, he's going to be 18 again. That's fine with him.
Well, I mean, get him up on stage, yeah, and we'll have a chat.
I hope my mind is the first thing to totally go, because I want to believe that I'm 18 when I'm close to death. I want to be dumb enough to think I'm really an 18-year-old. That's what I want. How much brain I want to lose at the end.
Yeah, it's fun games,
when you have your birthday, reverse the numbers and live there for a while.
Okay, so that's Sunday. my birthday Sunday, and I'm going to do the usual. I'm going to go to Denny's and I'm going to have some strangers tell me happy birthday. And that's how I celebrate every year.
And what do you like to have at Denny's?
They give you a specific meal for free.
Like
You
the
don't
Grand
really.
Slam.
It's going to be eggs and toasts and maybe some I don't like the pancakes anymore. I used to when I ate sugar, but not anymore.
I go to my traditional farm pub next to Leeds Airport, where they do a great big, massive eat as much as you want carveries, and £10 slices of cake with ice cream. The full meal, yeah, is £8. You can eat as much as you want, but the
Wow.
cakes, the size of your face, and
Well,
like 4 balls of ice cream for 10. It's crazy.
so we
So that's
never
my
even got
go-to.
into the third slideshow, but it's time. I know why it's 2 hours because that's all the time I have on StreamYard available.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to have to go because I'm running out of StreamYard time. I've used up my 20 hours and we're done with the discussion. We did not get to the I can't take a hint, but maybe another time. If anybody has any ideas of a topic to address next, I'm planning on doing 2 slideshows for June. Not sure on what yet, but planning on it.
This is
I'm
great,
And
though. This is great, Wendy. And I'm going to Denny's for dinner tonight because it's 20% off for seniors.
woo, yay!
Good meal of the month.
Okay. All right.
So,
Bye, everybody. Thanks for
yeah,
tuning in.
thank you, Wendy.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you did good. You did really good. And you'll be fine. We'll work through this.